Well, hello there. This is Dr. LaWanda N. Evans, licensed professional counselor, national certified counselor, and relationship strategist. Welcome to another segment of The Truth About Your Relationship. Well, I'm starting a 7-week series on the truth about your relationship. 7 keys to accepting the truth, letting go, and making room for the relationship God has for you. And so there are 7 keys that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to talk about them each week and basically give you some information on what to do in your relationship when you feel like your relationship is not going the way you desire it to go, when you feel like you are lost in the relationship, when you feel as if you're 100% committed to the relationship and he's not committed to the relationship. I'm going to give you 7 keys to accepting the truth, letting go, and making room for the relationship God has for you. And the reason why I'm going to give you these 7 keys, because many times we as women, we choose to ignore the red flags in relationships. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time to go through the 7 keys with you. These are 7 keys that basically 7 mistakes that I've made myself in past relationships. And so I'm going to share this information with you so that you won't have to worry about making the same mistakes that I made. So let's start with the first key. The first key is believe him. You may be asking yourself, what does she mean by believe him? Well, let me tell you a little bit about that. You know, there was a time when, it's so funny that I'm sharing this, but there was a time when I was having a conversation with someone, and this particular person said to me, I would never marry you. As to be exact, his exact words were, you think I'm going to marry you? I would never marry you. And instead of me believing him, I chose to ignore him. I chose to ignore what he said, and I kept dealing with him and kept dealing with him and kept dealing with him. Year after year after year after year after year. And guess what? We still not together to this day. Simply because he had already told me that he would never marry me. He had already told me he didn't want to be with me. But I kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing, just like some of you. You're with someone who has told you he does not want to be with you. You're with someone who has told you he will not marry you, but you keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. Let me tell you something. You can keep pushing. It can be 7 years later, 10 years later, 13 years later, 20 years later, and you've wasted your time with this one person who has already told you that he's not going to marry you and that he does not want to be with you. And so one of the things you have to realize is when a man tells you that he doesn't want to be with you, that's what he means. If a man tells you, I would never marry you, that's what he means. It's up to you to make a decision as to whether or not you want to continue to see him. It's up to you to make a decision as to whether or not you're going to continue to allow him to string you along or even choose to be stringed along, knowing that the relationship is not going anywhere. You have the ability to make a decision as to whether or not you stay in the relationship or whether or not you walk away from the relationship. It's totally up to you. You're crying, you're frustrated, you're disappointed, you're going through so much hurt and so much pain, but you're forgetting something. You hold the key. You have the power. You have the ability to make a decision. Oh, you may be saying to yourself, oh, but I love him. Oh, I really want to be with him. But guess what? He just told you that he don't want to be with you. He just told you he's not ready for a relationship. He just told you that he would never marry you. So why would you want to be with someone who keeps telling you that he doesn't want to be with you? He doesn't want a relationship right now. He's not ready for commitment and he would never marry you. It's time out for women for just standing and just allowing these men and to treat us any kind of way. It's important for you to make a decision today that, you know what, I will no longer allow you to treat me this way. I would no longer allow you to string me along, and I would no longer allow myself to be stringed along in this relationship. I'm choosing me. I'm choosing to let go. I'm choosing to walk away. I'm choosing to let you be and be okay with that. And I'm not saying that to say that you won't be hurt, you won't be mad, you won't be crying after that. But the most important thing is I'd rather be crying and frustrated knowing that I walked away and did the right thing than crying and frustrated and still be in a relationship with someone who doesn't have the capacity to give me what I need. So that is the first key. It is called believe him. And I just gave you several reasons why you should believe him. So if you are in a relationship, if you are dating someone, and he has said these 3 things to you, I am not interested in a relationship right now, or I'm not interested in a relationship. If he said to you, I don't want to be with you, and if he said to you, I would never marry you, I encourage you to walk away. I encourage you to check yourself and say, you know what? Why am I allowing this man to treat me this way? Why am I continuing to stay in this relationship knowing that he doesn't have the capacity to give me what I need? Why am I so drawn to him that I'm willing to lower my standards and be treated any kind of way and walked over for the sake of wanting to be in a relationship with him? It's not worth it, because you will find yourself 7 years from now still dealing with the same person and not getting what it is that you need. Thank you so much for listening. This is Dr. LaWanda N. Evans, licensed professional counselor, national certified counselor, relationship coach, relationship strategist. If you have any questions or any concerns, please feel free to call me at 972-855-8947, or you may email me at counseling@drlne.com, or visit my website at www.drlne.com. Until next time, I will see you next week when I talk about the next key, which I'm not going to give you right now. You have to tune in next week to get the next key. Look forward to talking to you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.